Now, there's some pretty visually stunning action sequences in this film. How do you prepare?
In every way. I mean, besides the physicality and besides, what we wanted to accomplish in that sort of space, we had some very specific weaponry in the film that was designed for each character that was less functional than they may have looked. And so there was a process of figuring that out and actually being able to, play with the design so that it was functional for me or for Paul. And we worked really closely with the props people and all the special effects people to really, kind of tailor it to what we needed, because it's difficult to use something you pick up a gun, you pick up a gun, you pick up a knife, you pick up a knife, but that's not what we had in this film.
Well, you also have the challenge of fighting an enemy that's not on set with you.
Yeah, we had that as well. A lot of green screen and blue screen and sort of pillows and things like that you're going after. Or just not even there, like you said. And for me, I was lucky in some of my action sequences, I had, real stuntmen and, in costume and stuff like that. So that was nice.
Did they try to train you on the motorcycles before they finally said?
They did. I had a few weeks of motorcycle training, actually. I'd ridden bikes before, but I don't think any bike could have prepared me for that bike. That bike was almost impossible to ride, and so Paul and I were both struggling with it. But in the end, it's really important for us to be sort of those people. That's us. We're on the bike.
What makes the vampires in this film so different from every other vampire movie out there? Which is not just a vampire movie. But.
Right. No, and you're right, and it isn't. And you could swap out that threat, and it would be the same movie. We created creatures. We created a threat that was very terrifying to us, and something that I think that people will understand the threat in a real way and in a bigger way. We don't have the people with the teeth and and nobody's good looking in that way, and you know what I mean. There's no relationship with the vampires. I mean, we are at war, and we don't live among them. And I think that the way we've created them, and they are original. They weren't even in there were no vampires in the graphic novel that this is based on. So these were created by our people, and I think they're pretty spectacular. I think people will enjoy it.
If you could play any sort of role because you've done so many action roles, if you could play any role right now, what would it be?
I recently wrote something with a friend that I'm going to be sort of shopping around. That's I wouldn't call it a romantic comedy, but I would call it a situational comedy, and it's about a girl and her best gay friend. And one man, and so it's actually based on a true story, me and one of my best friends, and so I wrote it about him and something that happened to us, which was one of the funniest things that ever happened in my life. But I want to do something like that that's sort of light. I'm always kind of doing these darker, sort of heavier things, and it'd be nice once in a while to do something lighter. So yeah.